Lavelle at the University of Leicester. I'm a geneticist. One of my jobs is to act as a teaching fellow within Second Life, which is a 3D multi-user environment. So we're doing a virtual laboratory to teach undergraduate students in biological sciences about laboratory work, so that the first time that they go into a laboratory, they actually have some experience of what a lab is like. We are just in the pilot stages of setting up this virtual laboratory. Okay guys, would you like to join me in the lab?
Okay, I'm ready.
So today I'm actually going to go into the lab to test out the functionality of it. And I'm going to meet up with 2 other researchers who are also going to be in there as avatars. As you can see, it says very clearly that lab coats have to be worn. And then we'll get our lab coats on and I will take them around the lab for a tour. So if you 2 can follow me, I'll show you where the sinks are. There's 2 types of sinks in the lab. The avatars are actually representations of yourself in this online world.
Okay.
I have a question. Why can't you wash your hands in this sink?
Because people that will be handling the taps on this sink will have handled them with gloves on, and they might have contaminants on their gloves.
Ah, yes, that makes perfect sense. Thank you.
The sorts of equipment that they meet and the sort of way that they've got to behave in a lab is usually quite intimidating. So by doing it in a virtual environment, they can actually feel much more comfortable when they go into a lab for the first time. And they can't break anything, they can't do any damage. We hope that they'll enjoy it as well as learn from it. These are bits of kit that you will find in all labs. Another advantage of the virtual lab is that for students who've maybe got disabilities, they can go into this virtual environment and try these things out. We set them up in a sterile environment. And we're hoping eventually that there'll be students from all over the world will come and use it, and we won't know anything about them other than what we see. It's great for people who feel shy and quiet. They might actually find that they come out of themselves a bit more and find that they learn more that way. Here we have a Bunsen burner, which is set up. Students use this a lot when they're doing experiments with fungal spores and bacteria. Everything that they will be doing in the real lab, the virtual lab will be set up for them to do. So if you happen to light your Bunsen burner too close to your alcohol, this is what happens.
Good one.
But it won't be giving them the answers. They'll have to work out a strategy about how to do the experiment.
Yeah, that was very effective.
The joy of doing it in Second Life is that they can do it quicker. They don't have to wait 3 hours for a reaction to finish. So they can try out different experimental strategies. You must take your lab coat off before you leave the lab and wash. We hope that when we've finished, that students will be able to appreciate when to wear lab coats. They'll know why they shouldn't run in a lab, why they shouldn't eat in a lab. They'll understand safe handling of equipment, and they'll actually be able to identify the equipment as well. It would be really good to get feedback about how you felt it went.
I feel like I've just been in a genetics lab. Just think that I would remember these things a lot better than if I had just read them off of a sheet of paper.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, particularly when you see the Bunsen burner ignite the ethanol. You see, that's an image that does stay in the mind. I found the whole thing really immersive.
It will never replace the real hands-on lab experience. But what it will do is give them a feel for it and a taste for it. I think it's going to be a huge area of growth in education, huge.